It's good. Watch. I can't take
Welcome to Trendnation, where we have the best in entertainment and hot topics. I'm Chris Greer. Today we have a special guest host that we'll actually be talking to later on in another segment that we have here, Miss Brandy Martin. So we're going to let our hosts introduce each other. To my left here is...
Well, I'm introducing myself. I'm your girl, Phoebe L. Crate. Welcome back.
And I am the Trendy Beat correspondent host, Leah Lukion.
So just stay tuned, sit back, grab your favorite meal or drink, and we're going to have more hot topics and entertainment for you. This is Trend Nation. Welcome back to Trend Nation. We're going to continue our hot topics section. We're going to be talking about a nail shop called Colors. I think it's located on 83rd and Holland. That's over there in that mall area by Walmart. So who wants to tell us a little bit about that?
Either one of y'all.
Okay. I'll start it off.
I love it.
Okay. Apparently what happened is that the owners of this nail salon were actually being really mean to black women and touching them, I think, and violently attacking these women.
Right.
And so we see that people are still going in there and patronizing this establishment. A friend of mine, Mr. Tyrone Muhammad, actually took it upon himself to bust the windows to the establishment. So that would kind of like slow down their whole their business, right? And so after that, of course, he was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct or something like that, destruction of public property or something of the other. But we actually see that people are still patronizing this particular establishment.
Yeah.
Anybody want to chime in on this?
Of course. Well, to actually comment to what you just said, the owner, Dave, the owner's name is Dave of the shop, and it's a family business. It's ran by him and his wife and his sister-in-law. And it was reports before the actual Tyrone showed up for that they had repeated reports of harassment. Dave had supposedly took a young lady's purse and held it.
Right.
And she had to call the police to get her purse back. He supposed to disrespected a 9-year-old girl, and her father came to the shop as well. So this is something that has been going on for a period of time before Tyrone actually stepped in. So a lot of people don't just think that Tyrone just went crazy and just went to the nail shop and cut up. No, it was repeated behavior by Dave, and nothing was being done about it. But our people are steady going in there patronizing, getting nails done. As you can see, a lot of people, if you ever seen the video, while this was going on, all the chaos was going on, people were still saying, well, when are we going to get our eyelashes done? When are we going to get our nails done?
Wow.
And basically what Tyrone did was made a statement. You think you're going to keep disrespecting our people, taking our money, and you're not going to respect us.
Right.
So I'm going to take the windows out to make sure that you don't get no business today.
Right.
After that, a group of people joined in with him, and they began a boycott, which is still going on right now.
Right.
So apparently a couple of days ago, Dave made a statement, a public statement, apologizing. But that was only because the business was going to stay open.
Okay.
There are people out there every day, all day, actually guarding the doors, and our people are moving us to the side and still going in.
Right.
Wow.
That's the sad part about it.
That is sad. That's very sad because we have people out there
Martin's out there with Tyrone.
Exactly.
He went to jail as well.
But then we can patronize our own people as well.
Exactly.
Why is it that we can't do that? What's wrong with that? I mean, we do have, I know we have this thing about, our people sometimes don't have the customer service skills to, with their business. But then there are some that do. So I mean, take the time out to look, go where you get great customer service. It's like we don't care about customer
And
service
now where you
anymore.
get great prices. See, that's the thing.
Exactly.
We originally were doing the nails. If you can remember, we used to pay $50, $60, $80.
Right.
If you wanted the little charms on there, sometimes it'd be $100. The Koreans came in with the $20 holla. And that changed the whole system. So we sold our integrity and started dealing for the cheaper, the $20.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So they exchanged the $60 nails for being disrespected and a $20 holla.
Well, you know what? Hopefully, they'll be able to either stop disrespecting our people, and so we actually will be able to get along much better. So there'll be no windows busted,
Right.
We
no
have to also
disrespect.
not want to be
Disrespected.
Right.
Because you're gonna,
Thank
you
you.
get what you deserve when you allow it.
Right.
So if
Exactly.
I disrespect you and you don't do nothing, then I feel as though I'm able to continue to do this.
Right.
Same thing, it's still also a condition as well. Whether it's the $20 hollers or the 60, 50, 80, however the case may be, you looking at what's raising certain individuals, which is media, which is TV, which is making it seem like it's cool to have these type of things and be able to accept the way you're being treated. So it's all about the condition. If you break the cycle, you know, you'll change.
Well, hopefully we can break that
I
cycle.
agree.
So we'll be back in a moment with a very special. This is Trendnation. We're back with Trendnation. We have Brandy Martin here. Brandy Martin had some deaths in our family that were actually a few days between each other, which was very, very, very hard to deal with. Her sister and her daughter, Falon Smith and Akila Addison, lost their lives days in between each other. And so we're going to have a little intimate conversation with her about how she's coping with this. So, Brandy, the deaths of your family members have been all over the news, and matter of fact, I've seen it. I've known you for years,
Yes.
and I know friends and relatives of yours. How are you coping with this? With these tragedies that actually happen back to back?
Actually, I'm not coping. I'm not. Right now, I'm just basically living off of just faith in God.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a chance because, like you said, it was so much tragedy hit in a week. My sister and my daughter died a week, actually 7 days apart. But in the midst of that, I lost my father as well, and that wasn't told because of the relationship and stuff like that. That's another story. But Falon, my sister, actually was killed on the 27th, and my father had a heart attack 3 days later. And 3 days later after him, 3.5 days later after him, Akila was killed. But most people that don't know, you guys know, my sister was the one killed on the red line, retrieving her phone. As everybody knows, we are suing CCA. We are suing the security company. Not me per se, but her children. She had 3 small children, one 18 and other are 2 minors. And it has been a lawsuit put in for her estate for CCA.
Because I've actually seen the footage of the CTA drivers look like he was clowning around before the accident occurred. And yeah, it's really heart-wrenching to actually see and hear about it because I didn't see any of the footage that people actually were on the platform.
The leak footage.
The leaked footage, yeah.
Right.
Right, that they were actually filming her while this was actually going on instead of helping her.
Exactly. Because a lot of people don't know, my sister actually just came from downtown. So she was getting off the other train. and actually received a phone call. My sister was got her insurance license, but she was about to run a downtown Allstate office. So she got a call stating that she needed to come pick up her paperwork and everything. So she was excited. So she got off of one train and went to the other side.
Right.
And in the midst, she had a conversation with a young man. That's what everybody knows, the guy with the red shirt on. And it made her comfortable that she can get down there because he would help her back up. And when she tried to get back up, he basically shunned her off.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't show everybody, but there are a lot of people on the platform. And that kind of goes to my hashtag, no love on the platform, because there was obviously no love on the platform. You know, if you worked at a fashion show with my sister before, she was 6'2". So basically all she needed was a hand up.
A hand up.
Because her legs was like, she was all legs. You know, so with the right hand, no matter female or male, she could have been saved. My sister was on the platform for 18 seconds. Now, as you can see from the videotape from the conductor, he was actually not paying attention for 17 seconds of the 18 seconds. So her death could have been prevented. I'm a strong believer, and I try to tell the truth as best as possible. I know my sister, I raised my sister. Without a doubt in my mind, she would have got down and got that phone, even if she was the only person on the platform, that she would have done. But at the same time, the people on the platform, they say there was no audio to the video. At least there was no audio for us. From the leaked footage or from the CCA footage. She cried out, "I got kids, somebody help me, please, please, please." They pointed towards the end. My sister was not running towards the train. It was not a suicide attempt. I want to make sure that it's clear. There is a ladder at the end of the platform that my sister felt that she can make it to and get herself back up once she realized that no love was on the platform. Yeah, so I want to make sure everybody get that clear. She was my sister was an author, a mother. We have 10 other siblings. She was very outgoing. A lot of social media has been put out there to you guys. You can see she was having a time of her life. The best things were happening to her in her life. And normally, that's what happens right before something really tragic hits. But yeah, I just want to make sure I make that clear. My sister was at a good point in her life. She was an author. She had just put a book on Amazon and everything, Phoenix Rising. Please go look and support that. She has children that still have to live, so I'm encouraging everybody, go look up Phoenix Rising, her book, and get to know who she is.
Well, the Trendnation family, as well as my personal family, reaching out with our prayers for you.
I appreciate that.
I know that it is very difficult dealing with the death of any family member, especially those that are so close to you.
My sister's is like, that one kind of bent me, you know? I feel like a mother, but I'm the sibling because I raised her. But losing a child, and that's what I want to make sure that I touch on. Losing a child it's easy to empathize with someone that loses a child. But the actual feeling of losing a child, I was explaining to Phoebe earlier, that emptiness, your child can be anywhere all over the world, and you know that your child is okay because you feel them. But the morning you wake up and you don't feel them, that's a really terrible feeling to deal with. And my daughter was killed by gun violence. She was actually shot in the head at a party, a celebration for someone else.
I think that was around
4th of July. It actually was going 2 o'clock in the morning, a little bit past 2. Her and a couple of friends were dancing behind her truck, and a guy came out the gangway and started shooting. I have not talked to any detectives except for one since she's been gone. But I laid them to rest on the 12th together. They had a beautiful funeral and burial. I would like to thank Chicago and people from all over the world because I didn't use any insurance or anything to bury them. It was strictly me and the love of the people like you guys. I was told that I was the first GoFundMe to raise that much money in 7 days in the city of Chicago, that fast. So the Most High did it all the way. I'm still a little bit in debt with it, but for the most part, it's basically taken care of. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I want y'all to continue to talk about the story because I need justice for KB. My daughter was a stylist. She was in college. She was about to open up her own shop. She did modeling. I have 2 other sons who she leave behind. I have no grandchildren with her. My daughter was very ambitious. She was full of life at the same time, but she was grieving her auntie as well.
Right.
My daughter had sickle cell. So what I'm getting from this is when she took the gunshot, she wasn't able to deal with it because of her having sickle cell.
Okay.
It made it easy. You know, she was dead on arrival,
transition,
yeah.
right.
So I need anybody, my daughter was killed on 42nd and Wells, anybody know anything, please contact the show, contact me. We need answers.
Yes.
You can call anonymously, but we need justice for KB.
Yes.
And
yes.
please push the hashtags. No love on the platform, no love on the streets. I started filming my documentary about them. Stay tuned for that, Chicago. With 10 dope artists, I can't shout them all out, but shout out to the artists that are part of the No Love campaign. Shout out to my artists and family, Tia Songbird, Passion, and Prince Egypt, who's been right here by my side. And sending love to my mom, because this is the worst. My mom had me at 21. I had my daughter at 21.
Wow.
And we both took a loss, and we lost children together. And I'm the oldest. So it's kind of hard. So I want to send lots of love to my mom and to the rest of my family, because this is definitely heartbreaking.
I can believe it because I'm a mother, and I was explaining to you earlier that people always say, well, you never experienced this, so you don't know what I feel like. No, I don't know what you feel like, but I can imagine if my children are still here, and just not knowing where they're at just sometimes just scare me.
It freaks you out.
Yes, so I can imagine that. I can really do. But my heart, it goes out
Thank
to
you,
you
and
your
much
family.
love to you guys and the whole entire staff here. I appreciate you for sharing that story. Y'all, justice for KB and the Fallon Smith Act.
Well, I want to thank everyone who actually have given to the family in order for the arrangements to be made. And if you know anything, or if you heard anything about this, or you have any type of information, please let the authorities know so we can actually get to the bottom of this. We want to thank Ms. Brandy Martin.
Thank you
For sharing
so
this with
much.
us.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And we'll be back with our Welcome back to Trendnation. We're going to start off with one of our hot topics that we have. We're going to talk about Mr. Kevin Hart and the car accident that he had. And also we're going to talk about also the $60 million lawsuit that he's being hit with concerning a sex tape. Would that be considered kiddie porn? Or I won't know. But we're going to ask our panel up here and see what they think about Mr. Kevin Hart.
Well, considering I'm probably around his height, it just might be considered kiddie porn, or small people porn. And at my height at 5'4", I will get back with you on those questions right there.
But what actually happened with that? I mean, they were saying that was he driving? Was he not driving? Did they take him from the car? Why they take him from the scene? Stuff like that. Anybody elaborate on what happened with that?
Well, from other sources that has been reporting it, basically he was in as we all know, a horrific accident, him and another individual that was driving. The person was actually driving, not Kevin Hart. A lot of people thought that he was the driver, but he wasn't. The way the accident and the car itself, they had to pull him out from the driver's side, which gave them the impression that he was the one that was actually driving. With that being said, he was moved. His bodyguard actually moved him from the crash up to another individual's house or apartment or whatever, and the 911 call actually has the young lady stating that it is Kevin Hart, that he has something leaking or pulling or pushing out, in his back, which everyone knows that the car accident caused him to have severe spinal damage.
Wow.
So we don't know the condition of the other gentleman, but they have similar conditions. Again, with the spinal is that Kevin Hart's remade an old school model vehicle that he has, like old school classic.
Right.
And it
I
didn't
think
have
it was a Barracuda.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it didn't have the harness. So harness is the straps that comes over
Right.
the body. Instead, it was just installed with the waist.
Right.
And obviously, the thrust of the impact pushed them all forward, and that's where the breaks in the spines occurred with Kevin.
Okay.
So with that being said, they was trying to figure out why would he be moved with such, in other words, did it cause more damage to his back? Because he actually walked. He wasn't carried. He walked to the facility wherever the young lady was.
Did they take him to a hospital after the damages, or did they just like order a new part from Mattel?
Probably maybe some tires. Okay, they was probably looking to see like how much it would be to remake the vehicle that was severely damaged.
No, I'm talking about his body. I'm not talking about the car.
I was talking
Mattel.
about his body. I mean, I was trying to get him
Leave
some extra
us
parts.
little
Okay,
people alone.
I'm sorry.
he
I'm
might
sorry,
come
Phoebe.
back
Little
taller.
people.
You
I'm
never
sorry.
know. He might come back 6'2" now.
Right.
I mean, the spinal they have to add some
stretch it.
parts. Think
can
about
stretch
it.
They can stretch them.
Hey,
Put a new one in.
they did it with Gumby.
No, great things come in small packages. Leave him alone.
Well, apparently not. In that big car that he had.
Oh,
Speaking
wow.
Speaking of his packages.
Oh,
Small package.
Ooh.
uh-huh. Are you talking about the $60 million?
I'm talking about
Scandal.
the $60 million sex scandal.
Wow.
It's just ironic how that kicked off right after he realized he can't walk or talk right now.
Wow.
So she's this young lady. I'm hoping I'm not gonna mess her name up. It's a very interesting name, but I want to say it's pronounced as either Montia Sabaj, Sabag.
Yeah, I just call her old girl.
Old
Old
girl.
girl.
Close.
Oh, you know,
Old girl.
old girl over there.
Old girl that want that $60 million.
Yeah. Old
Yeah,
girl that
yeah,
want that
old
60.
girl.
You
You
know.
know.
Yeah. So apparently this happened in a Las Vegas trip that Kevin Hart was on with a friend, John Jackson. That seemed like a very, like a noticed person, like a John Jackson. It's like a common,
It's a common
Common
name.
name.
Common
Yeah,
name.
like John Brown.
John.
you know,
Yeah.
Smith or
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
common.
So the young lady is, at first she said that she was a victim. And then she turned around and was like, he was the victim.
Right.
And that she wasn't going to sue. So, and it's crazy because the lawyer that she has is the same lawyer that was been out, going against R. Kelly.
Wow.
Not Gloria Allred, is it?
The lady looked like she probably played in some movies, in some sex scandals. I don't know.
Oh,
In her own little sex.
Her own little.
All
'cause
right.
she's short
but
too.
y'all are crucial
Man,
today.
she just looks. She has a face that's so familiar, and that's probably what the anyway. So the tape. So apparently the lady said that Kevin knew about the hidden tape in the hotel, and that he left the door open or unlocked for Jonathan, which is his friend, to come in, and then they had a scandal.
So what you're saying is that it was two people in the bed, they having sex, and the door was open, and neither one of these two people that was in the bed having sex noticed that somebody came in the room?
I'm just trying to tell you.
But I thought I read that the Jackson guy with John Jackson went in prior, and that's what she was saying at first, that he went in prior to set it up and everything. But then Kevin Hart thinks that his friend set him up, period. So that's my thing, the inner circle. It's like the people you trust. So if that was the case, then I'm going deeper, because it's like we can't trust our own circle. Whether if it's little, big, or small, we just can't trust them if that's the case.
So why?
If that's the case.
If that's
So
the
why?
case.
So why come after Kevin? Like again, like she said, at one point he was a victim and wasn't aware. But then, if that was the case, then why would you turn around? Why would you turn around and sue Kevin and not just address the friend?
Right.
If that was the case.
Because Kevin can't talk right now, so this is the perfect time to pull a lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah.
He can't talk and speak for himself, and also reflecting back to it being a friend. When you have stuff coming up, being in this industry, I'm kind of like learning that you will put out something to get a big audience, to get a lot of publicity. You know what I'm saying? So could just be a publicity stuff.
Okay.
You understand?
This is a very
It's easy to give my
huge stuff.
friends some money to do something and get the name out there, then to go hire somebody. Remember what just happened to the Empire guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Juicy,
That's
juicy
true.
Yes,
Smollett.
yes.
French actor.
But we're going to be back in a few minutes, and we're going.
Thrones and discredit and disarm these niggas to face it. I mean face down for these bracelets.
No doubt, now you can stop it. Let's get back to the topic. Any payback, any whack, it's a girl pair, it's a no case.
Doubters, the poem's been about it. He's on initially to get you out of your seat. And my bucket got potential between the ears.
Black, I'm black, my thoughts so black, I'm black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking all black, I'm black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black is black.
Rims on these black wheels in this black.
Get on a beat and I OD. I'm getting flashbacks on the old me. I was stressed, I was smoking mad bogey.
Can't go and get some peso. I got some goons, they gon' do
I'm in the rap 3, 4, 5 years. I drew a liquid wappy, all I know I'm right here.
We want to thank everyone for taking a look at Trendnation this particular episode. We want to thank our special co-host, Ms. Brandy Martin. So as always, Phoebe, Leah, keep on watching. This is Trendnation.
Trendnation.